Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avataravarishthaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. We are seeing the nature of the worldly man, the person who is attached to world and seeking worldly things, how his mentality will be that even by mistake they don't think of God. Their mind doesn't constantly dwell on God, nor occasionally even. They are dipped in the worldliness. So, but there is a way. Everyone will be saved. Everyone will be reaching back the source through direct or indirect means, through a prolonged path or vakragati or rujugati. They reach the goal. But the earlier we reach, we will be reducing our suffering and bondage. So Sri Ramakrishna is not complaining anything, but pleading to give up that worldly tendencies in us. Shivratri is coming within another 3 weeks, after 3 weeks. One of the main factors of Shivratri is to contemplate upon self. We will, after a fortnight or so, we will take up a little of the Shivratri concept and discuss. The thing is, night vigil and day fasting. Shivratri day. Night vigil, night is where we dissolve ourselves. It is a process of dissolution, nitya pralaya. In case of our life, it is nitya pralaya. I am going to leave my body and enter the inner cells of my existence. Every day, nature makes me dissolve. And again, from the dissolved state, I come back to the waking state. I am brought to the waking state. I cannot come back because I am not there. I am brought to the waking state. And there is a witness when I am not there, who is watching over my dissolved state. When the whole universe dissolves, pralaya, after pralaya, it is a state of something like decay. From decay state is emerging the new universe. You see the leaves falling below the tree. From that again the tree comes. True, it is nourishment for the tree. From the decay, the creation begins. There is a witness. When everything is dissolved, there is a witness who gives existence to the dissolved state of our existence and makes the nature make me manifest again, come to the waking state again. This state of dissolution and regeneration, in between I am not there. Shiva alone is there. The night you are supposed to contemplate on yourself and the universal self and the absolute self. Shivratri night, Shivratri is not like ordinary common festivals. It's a solemn festival where festivity is not there. In all there is pomp, celebration is there, feasting is there, nice eating. Here only fasting, no feasting. And night vigil. Exactly opposite things happen Shivratri day. So in that night, when whole inner stillness and silence is there, you will understand what errors you have done in the past, what errors you have to get rid of, and what virtues you have to acquire. Night you are supposed to sit for contemplation. We will discuss these points in detail. So the thing is, Sri Ramakrishna expects that you find out what is obstructing you from the eternal bliss and eternal joy. What is obstructing you from the self-knowledge? What is obstructing you from contacting the divine? You have to find out. She is giving hint. This is a small hint. At the time of death also he is not able to think of God. He is thinking of a drop of oil being spent there. So that kind of, that to bring the awareness in our minds to constantly think of the divine, attend to all the duties with diligence, with total dedication as an offering to the divine. Not to be caught by the karmas, not to create new samskaras, but I wound the karma chakra. I have to unwind through action alone. Whatever you have done through action, karma, through action again. The binding is an action, unwinding is also an action. So all the duties that you perform, all the services that you offer, whatever you do, even taking bath and brushing your teeth, then it is a part of offering to the divine. So with that attitude, so smoothly you have to go, keep moving towards the divine. No diversions, no mind towards any enjoyment. Keep the awareness firm and to Urdhva Drishti, towards the divine, and keep moving. No Nimna Drishti at all. You must become so pure. Shiva's main thing is, he is loved by his devotees for his innocence, Bholanatha, and purity, and ever ready to serve and accommodating everyone whom all have rejected. Old bull who cannot properly walk is his vehicle. All things, all bhuta pretas, with 2 legs, 4 hands, 2 faces, and ugly pictures, all where there is no place for anyone anywhere, rejected material, all will come to Shiva. He is with open arms, with open heart, he welcomes them. Come, come, my child. Where all sufferings, he has no refuge anywhere. Nobody is giving refuge To him there is refuge at Shiva. So you need not do anything for him. He is ever pleased. Sprinkle little water. Throw one dry bilva, old one, used and thrown. Give it. He is pleased. Just unwillingly cast your glance, he is pleased. You are not willing, but somebody says, see there. You'll glance, he is pleased. He blesses. Ashutosh. So, devotees have an entirely different picture of him. We'll see that point. Yes, Sri Ramakrishna expects that you must become innocent, pure, divine, like a child. Be freely moving about in the world, unstained, untouched by the... at the same time, internally, he is Atmarati, Atmakrida, Atmarama. So that aspect. One side, you must be like Thakur, ever immersed in God. Like Holy Mother, loving all deeply. And like Swamiji, ever standing for work, action. Hanuman. So, that three aspects must be there in you. Then you are the perfect human individual. The bound souls never think of God. If they get any leisure, they indulge in idle gossip and foolish talk, or they engage in fruitless work. If you ask one of them the reason, he answers, I cannot keep still, so I am making a hedge. When time hangs heavy on their hands, they perhaps start playing cards. This is the nature of a worldly man. In beginning of the Ramcharitmanas, the poet Tulsidas clearly detailed picture of the saintly person and worldly person he gives, and then salutes both. I salute the both. Like that, Sri Ramakrishna is giving what will be the nature, and we are not exceptions. Many, many lives we might have spent like this before we could come to this state of present existence that once in a way at least we think of God. Now also, in spite of all this, unbroken thought of divine is not there. The day you get unbroken thought of divine, constant remembrance of divine, in and through all states that you pass through, then you have finished half the way. You can see the object. Only you have to walk. Just like you are seeing the sea. Going from here to Udupi, you want to see the sea. From far off sea is visible. Now you have to walk to sea. Now you don't even see the sea. You are far away because the intermittent thought of God is appearing, and not with all the intensity, powerful. It is broken, fragment, and then with less intensity. Whenever I think of God, there is no longing. The tears do not come. I have not yet realized. Day by day it is going off. The same time that I have spent in my life, I may not get again. Most of us, after 30s, he has already finished half the life. Another same amount of life, he is old age. Senior citizen, not old age. Honorable person. Life goes so fast. So within that span, you have to finish the task. Means how intense must be your sadhana, how much awareness must be there. And how much careful you must be that nothing enters your mind. When we were in puja, I was in puja, Vinayakanandaji used to tell us, see that while sitting for puja, your mind is free from all thoughts of this world, of the ashrama or any person or anything, except God. Nothing should be there in your mind. So, we used to, getting up, we used not to look at any people's face. Afraid, frightened. During puja, that person's face may come sometimes in meditation. Instead of God's face coming. Avoid, run here and there. And keep away from all things till puja is over. Because in sitting on the asana in the shrine, for any other thought to come, means it's a very unfortunate situation. When you sit for puja, when you sit for meditation, when you sit for japa, only God's presence alone must be there. People may be shouting by the side. You should not divert. That much of grit and determination. Yes, I am sitting for 15 minutes for japa. This 15 minutes, no other thought I will allow to come. I will close all the doors. My door is open only for God. He is there within me. I need not turn out. So whole attention is drawn inside. Whatever happens outside, that 15 minutes is given to God. That I am going to do japa. I will go on repeating, looking at various aspects of His existence. His feet, His hands, His this, that. Any aspect of God you take, you are free. And totally absorption. In meditation is a process in which you get absorbed and concentrate. As deep as you can go, you must get total absorption, like children getting absorbed in TV. Mother will be shouting in the kitchen, his name, his ears are deaf. Oh, then once he will shout, keep quiet, Amma. Don't disturb me. So that kind of absorption, when this absorption continues, you are getting established in that step. The next step we use concentration. We don't use concentration in meditation unless you get established in the state which you are able to go every day. Next step to go, again concentration and penetration. Next step you enter into one more state. Then that must become so spontaneous to you. The moment you sit, you must be able to go there. Then again concentration. Concentration and absorption alternates. Absorption goes for nearly 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, then one more door will open. That unless you turn inward, dive within, and go towards your core, you will not be able to enter so easily. Three things that obstruct our inward journey: we cannot turn because of attachment to body, attachment to the world, and attachment to the objects. My mobile. So, that anything you keep as yours will be binding you. Ego, bodily existence, and possessions. These three will be binding. So we take the vow of poverty, vow of chastity, vow of obedience and service. 3 things to overcome. Vow of poverty: I don't keep anything here in this world as mine. Vow of chastity: I will not give my body or mind for any kind of enjoyment. Then serving others with love and dedication and implicit obedience makes me get rid of ego. Then I am free to turn inward and dive within. So this inward journey is most essential part of your spiritual practices. So these people, what is the way? There are the worldly people who even by mistake they will not think of God. Whenever they get a little time, they indulge in empty talks, talking nonsense. Here they are making fun and frivolities and spending the time pass. Now one more, Thakur is not mentioning, if there was TV and mobile, just like Kamini Kanchana, he would have included mobile. Both together it is. Mobile, one word would have been sufficient instead of using 2 words, Kamini Kanchana. Both are there in his pocket. So, that one to avoid. Now, these people who cannot even by mistake think of, and if you ask, what are you doing? Why are you wasting your time? Then what the answer is, I cannot keep quiet. I will be doing some work. And where fencing is not necessary, they are fencing. So, this is what they do. And what is the way? The only way is satsanga. One friend who can speak to them, or one somewhere, that's the only opening. Otherwise, they won't be able to even think of a thing called God exists. That faith to come, how long it will take. Those even by mistake who do not think of God and immersed in the world and worldliness, what can? A drop of satsanga, just like dussanga spoils anyone, like that satsanga. Satsanga and sadhu sangha are little different. Sat is one who has realized God. There must be a person who is evolved to a higher level of this one, evolution. Some amount of spiritual practice. He is advancing. He can teach then actually what happens is, what we call satsanga, there won't be an evolved soul. A few people join together, start reading and all, it's good. It is good because words of saints or something, the life of saints or something we are listening to which inspires. But the thing is, all are ignorant, you see. Each take the reading in their own way. When it comes to Upadesha part, the life story will be interesting and encouraging. When it comes to the Upadesha part, we won't be able to absorb it, hold it in our hearts, because we don't see an example among ourselves who can imbibe it and reflect it in their life. So, each will be expressing his ignorance. All, it is like a hospital where all patients are there and no doctor. His fever, he will get cough, that person's cough, this person will get. Exchange. Each is exchanging their ignorance. That should not happen. A person who with authority can speak at least Panditya. It is this, here it is like this, here it is like this. He is like this. With humility, if you can present also, to that extent of higher, this one is sufficient. But actual Sat means one who has reached God, Sat. Satsanga means it's a company of the not holy man. Sadhu Sangha is company of holy men. Satsanga is the company of a realized soul. Satsanga, actually, literally, it means the company of a realized Satpurusha, one who has attained God. In Sanskrit, Kavi also is used. The term Kavi. In other languages, Kavi means poet. So, commonly, in Sanskrit, Kavi means a realized soul. Bhagavad Gita, many times he uses the term to mean the realized soul. So, in Satsanga, just by glance, by a word, hearing a word somewhere, because inside is divine. Whatever has covered is gold that has fallen into cow dung. Nothing to worry. It is not going to rot. Picking up is very difficult. Only saints can pick it up and wash it. Wash it, it is. Inside, between a saint and a sinner, there is no difference at all. If you just go beyond mind, whatever your action be, it can stain your body, stain your mind, not beyond that. It can stain only external things. Inside you are eternally pure. So that word of a saint, somebody is going by motorcycle, making big sound like morning motorcycle one person drives, you see, removing the silencer. Like that. Even he is going by that. One word from the saint falls on his ear, it may awaken him. One sadhu I met in Himalayas, he was a Kannadiga. I asked him, he was quite young, means about in 40s. He has already spent 20 years monastic there. So I asked how it happened that you could come away so early in your life. He said, one sadhu used to come to their house. And the house is like long train. one room, another room, another room. To go, they have to pass through each other's room. So, middle they used to give to that sadhu, because it was very close to bathroom. Whenever he used to come, he used to stay in their house. And these people used to somehow dislike. Why somebody comes and stays and we lose our freedom? And then one day, father was there in the other room, sadhu, and this side the boy. He was studying in first year graduation or so. Then father asked him time. What is the time? He told in Kannada, 7:10, 7:10. The sadhu suddenly looked at him and said, ನೀನೇ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀನೇ ಎದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಪ್ಪನಿಗೆ 7:10 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀಯ ಅಂತ. You have not got up. 7 means get up. 10 means climb. You have neither got up nor climbed. What are you teaching your father to get up and climb? 7:10. So suddenly, a kind of shock like that word was sufficient for his transformation. He started deeply contemplating. He was a very good student, always standing first in the class, but totally away from the spiritual world. I am like Nachiketa, Bhavanamemi Pratamo, Bhavanamemi Madhyamaha. I am first among many. I may be second among a few. Why is the sadhu is telling like this? Then that inner awakening was there. Third day, he was missing from the home. And he was there. Here, there, bhatakte. Last he reached Himalayas. So, a word can transform because he means that. People also will tell. Not that we lack fun or talking we don't know. We talk, but we don't mean it. What they talk, they mean it. When a word comes out of their mouth, it is truth. For japa to do, you should not tell a lie any time, should not gossip, should not waste your energy through vak, speech. Then only the vak shuddhi is important for that japa to do. You should never abuse anybody, criticize anybody, because otherwise it will be false. You are doing everything with the same mouth. This also you are chanting. Like newspaper and gospel, reading in the same way. It should not happen. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.